We are back with our daily MLB Best Bets here on July 10th. It is a Thursday. We've got about 2/3 of the teams today in Major League Baseball playing. So again, enough matchups for our 5 best bets. I am staying away from the Nerfy today. Not because we've been ice cold, and we've been really good on the channel. Yesterday, again, another positive day. Multiple money lines hits, Corey Seager hits, A's. Oh, they laid an egg, but it's okay. I cannot hit a Nerfy to save my life right now. So I'm not staying away from it today because I've been cold. There's literally nothing I like. The closest thing I could get today would be Logan Allen, Jonathan Cannon with that White Sox and Guardians game. I just don't like it enough to include it in the video. So instead, I'm doing 3 moneyline bets, plus obviously the best player prop in the Washington Nationals best bet. We've been really good with those. Again, the Nerfies have just been ice cold, and I guess that's what we get for starting the year. 18-1 on Nerfies, give or take. So again, 3 money lines, Nationals, and a player prop today for this Thursday, July 10th slate. Before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. On Greedo Plays MMA this week, our UFC Fight Night Nashville predictions, and on top of that, our UFC Fight Night Nashville 5 best bets was posted yesterday. Go make sure to check that out. Both of the videos, the full card predictions video and the 5 best bets, are linked in the description down below. Go check those out on Greedo Plays MMA if you haven't not yet. And also go subscribe to that channel, subscribe to this channel too. Okay, let's go. First best bet of the video, early morning spot. Give me the New York Mets. Taking the Mets again. We took the Mets on Monday. They won come from behind victory for that team. The Metropolitans and the Orioles got rained out yesterday, so there's a doubleheader today. Let me clarify, this is the first game of the doubleheader at Camden Yards between the Orioles and the Mets. I actually think the Mets can probably win the second game too. Actually, they're huge favorites in the second game. Excuse me. I thought they were... ESPN has the Mets at -165 for the second game. Last I checked on FanDuel, they were like plus 100. Yeah, okay, I don't know what ESPN's on. Yeah, the Mets are plus 100 for the second game of the doubleheader. They probably will win that game too. I'm going to stay away from that, though. I just don't know who's pitching for the Mets. It's either going to be a bullpen game or it's going to be the 27th man who comes up, obviously, for the doubleheader. Sugano's going second game for the O's, so again, he's not great, but I'm going to stay away from the second game. We're not all in, but we are just with the first game here between the Mets and the Orioles. Okay, David Peterson starting for New York. I get it, Peterson's shaky at times. His last start against the Mets, though, was more than serviceable. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. I will take that out of David Peterson after back-to-back bad starts against the 2 Pennsylvania teams in the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Philadelphia Phillies. Baltimore's bats have heated up. Don't get me wrong, look at their last game, right? They lose 7-6 because of a huge top of the 8th inning from the New York Mets, scoring 4 runs thanks to home runs by both Francisco Lindor and Polar Bear Pete Alonso. And obviously Juan Soto comes in clutch in the 10th inning, driving in the eventual game-winning run. The Mets should have got more in that top of the 10th, but it's okay. They still won the game by 1. I will admit, though, yes, the Baltimore Orioles bats are slightly heating up, but really when you take a deep dive into that game, it's kind of just the same guys. Okay, here's the thing. It's just the top of the order that's hitting. Jackson Holliday had 2 hits on Monday's game. Westberg, okay. Gunnar Henderson, we know how good he is. Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano. And sure, Colton Cowser had 2 hits, which usually is some production that, the O's don't always get. But, Holliday, Gunnar, O'Hearn, I mean, those are the guys who always produce for the Orioles. The bottom of the lineup still blows, let's be honest. And the Mets, for as much as I hate this squad, this team's hitting the ball really well. Lindor, Soto, Alonso. They get Jesse Winker back, and they're hitting Winker pretty high in the order right now. I love Jesse. Again, I own a Jesse Winker Nationals jersey, just obviously like I do for Juan Soto. But Winker's back from injury. Again, he's going to provide a lot of power. He's going to provide some power from the left side of the plate. And just all around, again, a guy who saved his career last season by going to Washington, obviously got traded at the deadline to the New York Mets. But again, a guy who's more than capable at the plate for that team. And just more, again, protection in the lineup, I guess I'll say, for a guy like Soto or Alonso. And then the major talking point, I think, of this game is the pitching matchup, right? David Peterson and Charlie Morton. Again, I just detailed Peterson a little bit earlier in the best bet. He is shaky, yes. But Charlie Morton is the definition of shaky. Charlie Morton will have the starts where he looks really good. Hell, in the month of June, his ERA was 2.88. I will give the man credit. He had 3 really good starts in June, and the O's went 4-1 in Charlie Morton starts in the month. Against the White Sox, 6 2/3, 6 hits, 1 run. Game against the Angels, 5 innings, 5 hits, 0 runs. Against the Rays, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. His last start against against the Atlanta Braves, Baltimore wins. Morton goes 5 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, allowed, and picks up the victory in that game as well. Again, he's been better. I think the Mets are going to be able to take advantage here. I think the Mets are going to be swinging an active bat in this game against a guy like Morton. New York has won 5 out their last 6 games, with the only loss being that Sunday game against the New York I don't know why I said I was going to say Nets, the New York Yankees. I'm taking the New York Mets to win the baseball game here on the road at Camden Yards. I think Peterson performs for. I think the bats get going as well. I'm taking New York on the road to win in Baltimore against Charlie Morton, who's 41 years old, and the Baltimore Orioles. Guys, we just need to start fading Unks. What happened yesterday? Justin Verlander loses again. Shout out to the Phillies cashing in our early game yesterday. Let's cash again with our other early game today. New York Mets money line. I see this line kind of fluctuating, but -135 is the best line I can find right now as of 3 o'clock in the morning. If you're watching this video when it comes out, it's coming out in 2 hours. So yeah, give me New York Mets money line. Okay, our second best bet of the video is another money line. Again, got rid of the Nerfy for today, so let's go to our second money line of the night. Going to Boston, Massachusetts, the Boston Red Sox, and the Tampa Bay Rays. Guys, I fade bad pitchers. Okay? It's just what I feel like doing today. Fading, well, Charlie Morton, in all fairness, has been much better. And there's going to be a guy later in the video. Actually, all teams we're picking against today, they're throwing really bad pitchers throughout the year. Obviously, getting right, Morton's been better recently. Walker Buehler's actually coming off a good start. We are going to follow the season-long trends today, okay? Anyways, our second best bet of the video, Rays, Red Sox. Give me Tampa on the road. Taj Bradley has been more than serviceable, okay? 2 starts ago against the Orioles, it was bad, right? 5 starts ago against the Orioles. His last 2 starts against the O's have been atrocious. If you take away his starts, though, if you take away the starts against Baltimore, Taj Bradley in his last 3, again with the exception of the 2 O's starts, has actually been pretty solid, right? That Twins start, 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. Okay. Given the circumstances and the fact that Taj Bradley loaded the bases in the second inning with 0 outs and got out of that jam with only allowing 1 run, I'm going to take that night out of Taj Bradley. Again, going 6 innings and giving up 3 runs, obviously in a perfect world, we want Taj Bradley to pitch like he did on June 24th against the Royals at Kauffman Stadium. He went 6 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs. Obviously, again, that's what we want out of every pitcher every single night. But you're obviously going to get that once every month with a guy like this. A start they had on July the 5th against the Twins is more than serviceable. And he puts his team in a position to ultimately win the baseball game. Tampa was leading that game in its entirety for the most part at Target Field up in the Twin Cities until eventually they blew it late in the game, obviously. And the Twins won it, I believe, in either the bottom of the 7th or the bottom of the 8th, right? If Taj Bradley can pitch like that tonight here at Fenway, we're in good shape, okay? Why? Because Walker Buehler is pitching for the Boston Red Sox. Walker Buehler put together a somewhat decent start in his last one against the Washington Nationals. Not like he was all that pressed because Mitchell Parker was throwing for the Washington Nationals. So Walker Buehler, when he first took the mound, had 4 runs of support, again, without even throwing a pitch. Ultimately in that start, though, in DC, Buehler goes 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. That's, again, one of his better starts of the season. But overall, this year, Walker Buehler is posting a 6.25 ERA. Obviously, June was just a new low, honestly, and maybe even just the career of Walker Buehler. In the month of June, Buehler had a 11.07 ERA. Horrible starts against the likes of the Mariners, where he went 3 1/3, 8 hits, 8 runs. Yankees, 2 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. And the Angels, where he went 4 innings and gave up 5 runs and walked 7 batters. The main difference that I saw watching Nationals Red Sox when Walker Buehler was pitching last Saturday was the Nationals are very incompetent at times, and sure, again, I'm about to sing their praises in just a few moments here, but that can happen with the Nats. And 2, this is a multi-part thing. Walker Buehler was throwing strikes in his last start, and on top of that, the Nationals weren't really taking pitches. So in 5 innings, Walker Buehler sure he gave up 8 knocks, but he didn't walk anybody, right? On the flip side, look at that start against the Angels, right? 4 innings, 3 hits, gave up 5 runs, but he walked 7 guys. I mean, it's the easiest thing to, well, it's not easy to avoid, but it's the most efficient way to keep your pitch count somewhat decent. Don't walk batters. And obviously, much easier said than done. However, guys, I expect Walker Buehler to regress in this start. I know Tampa Bay as a whole has just regressed as a team recently. And sure, maybe we should have saw that coming just because of how hot they were playing in parts of June. They have been kind of ice cold, right? They're still only 4 games back of the division. Currently, that is led by the Toronto Blue Jays. But the Rays have struggled, right? They lost this series to the Twins. They lost a series to the A's, lost a series to the Orioles. I mean, since that big winning streak, they've lost 4 consecutive series to Baltimore, Sacramento, Minnesota, and Detroit. I think they get off to the right foot in this series, though, just because, again, Buehler is going. I feel more than confident fading a bad pitcher tonight. We just need production throughout this lineup, right? Tampa didn't look all that bad in the Tiger series. Again, Detroit's just a really good baseball team, and yesterday they jumped out to an early lead. Detroit recaptured the lead in the bottom of the 4th. We thought, okay, maybe that's it for Tampa, but they come storming back in the 6th inning. Some huge at-bats. Kaminara had a really big game, hit a home run in the 7th inning. I think the Rays are more than capable in this game, and again, I'm just going to fade Buehler, who I think throws meatballs half the time, and when he doesn't, he's just missing the plate in its entirety. Give me Tampa Bay Rays money line on the road at Fenway Park, minus 115 for Tampa to go and beat the Boston Red Sox. We move on to our third best bet of the videos, our Washington Nationals best bet of the day. We're going to double up here on Nationals money line. And sure, this does make 4 total money line bets for the day, but it is what it is. Slates vary at times. I'm going Nats money line. Yeah, I'm going Nationals money line at plus 120 here on the road in St. Louis. There's a couple reasons I'm doing this, and I'll detail you all of them right now. The first of which is the pitching matchup. Mike Soroka, Miles Mikolas. Guys, I say it every time Mike Soroka starts. Soroka is much better than his numbers indicate. Okay, his last start was god-awful, okay? I was running off of, literally maybe 30 minutes of sleep, an hour of sleep on the 4th of July. I saw Mike Soroka give up 7 runs in 4 innings. I then proceeded to go back to bed after I watched the first hour and a half of that baseball game on the 4th of July, just because, of course, early mornings start for the 4th of July. Anyways, Soroka is really bad against the Red Sox. I'm telling you, Soroka's much better than the numbers indicate. The Nats haven't won a game with Soroka pitching since June 6th. Wow, they've lost 5 in a row with Soroka on the bump. 5.4 ERA. Again, the Nationals are going to get calls for Soroka at the deadline. 100%. Undoubtedly, Soroka is going to get moved. Likely his future, at least for a postseason contender this season, is going to be in the bullpen. Just teams around the league like Soroka a lot more coming up the pen than they do as a starter. And that's fine. Again, I'm willing to get any price for Mike Soroka at the deadline this year. Still, though, everything indicates that Mike Soroka is better than the numbers, actually are. And sure, again, I'm not going to pump him up as much as I was prior to that Red Sox start. But in a game where I expect a lot of runs to be scored, I think Soroka is able to get the better of Miles Mikolas, a guy who has also struggled mightily recently. Mike Soroka as a whole, I know, again, bad last start against the Red Sox, but his ERA in the month of June is 3.49. Miles Mikolas has had 1 start in the month of July, got blown up against the Cubs, 6 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, 6 home runs, but his overall ERA in the month prior, in June, was 6.58. Now, Mikolas' first start of the season against the Nationals, and only obviously started the season against the Nats, he was really good. 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. Again, Andre Palante, though, last night, we had mentioned, okay, he was really good in his first start against the Nats. And Mackenzie Gore was actually really bad in his first start against the St. Louis Cardinals. That completely flipped last night over at Busch Stadium. So I think we're in a good spot here with Mike Soroka. He has not pitched against St. Louis this season, but the Nats are building momentum from last night, and Miles Mikolas, right, again, that 1 start on the 4th of July, he was arguably much worse than Soroka was. Sure, he actually went 6 innings. The guy gave up 6 home runs. I mean, he averaged giving up a home run every inning. It's not good. I know Soroka's start was really bad too, but back-to-back bad starts for Mikolas. The start before that in Cleveland against the Guards, 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 homers. Mikolas has dealt with so many troubles with the long ball, and every single start that he had in the month of June, Miles Mikolas gave up a home run. And again, 6 already in the month of July just because of 1 start. So I guarantee you the Nationals are going to be able to tee off, and we saw the success the Nats had to play yesterday. And I'll get a little bit into more of that in a second, but Wood homered, Rosario homered, Lowe homered. If that power translates today against a guy in Mikolas who doesn't throw the ball exceptionally hard, who will miss spots at times, he's Unk as well. Mikolas is 36. the threat of the long ball is going to be there tonight with the Nationals. That's why I'm going Nats money line at plus 120 on the road in St. Louis. Now, again, yesterday's game, I got to give Miguel Cairo his due, man. I do. So last night I was at the Weeknd concert, and I'll be honest, that was probably my favorite concert I have ever attended. However, the bright spot of my night last night was not the Weeknd concert. It was great. The bright spot of my night was watching the Washington Nationals beat the St. Louis Cardinals and picking up our first victory in the last 5 days. What a win for the Nats, man. Shout out to Miguel Cairo. The Miguel Cairo magic, it was a masterclass by him, really came through. I mean, Cairo played the analytics yesterday. Saw a righty on the mound for St. Louis and Andre Palante. He saw that Palante is much worse against right-handed bats than he is lefties. So Luis Garcia sat, Dalen Lyle sat, and look what happened. Ahmed Rosario went yard yesterday off a right-handed pitcher, a guy who only played this year against lefties in the Davey Martinez regime. And again, I don't want to soil completely on Davey right now, and I don't want to completely sing the praises of Cairo, but I do think it's interesting. We took a very analytic approach yesterday to try to win that baseball game, and the Nats give Mackenzie Gore the most run support he has received all season long. And look what actually happens when we give Gore run support. Mackenzie in his own right against the Cards goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 7 Ks. ERA's down to 3 again. So as I was watching Playboy Cardi perform, or try to perform, I'll put it at that, I was watching James Wood go yard. I was watching our new relief pitcher, not Luis Garcia Jr., Luis Garcia, who is 36, 37, throw 98-mile-an-hour sinkers. I'll be honest, I didn't know Unk had it like that anymore. Welcome in, Luis Garcia. Hey, the bar's low, pal. You just gotta be better than Eduardo Salazar, all right? If you're better than him, and if you're better than Zach Brisky and Ryan Lotus, welcome in. The new regime in DC, we're making moves, okay? Guys, welcome to the Mark Lerner Redemption Tour. Oh, and some big stuff happened yesterday as well. I mean, again, Mark Lerner, man, I've given this guy a lot of crap. Theo Epstein apparently, I don't know, again, his involvement, but Theo Epstein apparently might be getting involved with the Nationals really soon. Again, when I hear more about that, I guess I'll make a separate video about that. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end of the video right now. I'll wait on that. Again, I don't know how official that is. But if the Nats can get Theo Epstein, this is a very good executive who has built championship teams before. Ooh, I would not mind that at all. Anyways, give me the Washington Nationals today on the money line plus 120. Nats won yesterday. Very pumped about that. Okay, on to our fourth best bet of the video. Let's do our best player prop of the day. I'm going Ronald Acuna Jr. So this is not, I mean, well, this is kind of reactionary towards yesterday's bet, and that's fine. We had A's money line yesterday, right? And that didn't go our way. Okay, I'll be the first to admit that was not a good read on my end. I expected a lot of runs, and in all fairness, we were chancing it a little bit, right? We knew both Ronald Acuna Jr. and Jacob Wilson were game time decisions yesterday in Sacramento, and ultimately the guy that we needed to play in Jacob Wilson played, and the guy that, you know, we wouldn't mind if he had taken one more day off, Ronald Acuna did play. And that's fine. Again, we lost, it is what it is. We had a positive day overall yesterday. Anyways, I'm going to go with Ronald Acuna today on the over total basis. I said this yesterday before that A's-Braves game, and that's why I was saying, okay, if Acuna's not playing, we're in a tremendous spot. Because, guys, Atlanta's just a different team when Acuna is off or on the field. When he's on the field, obviously, I mean, they are, that lineup just as a whole gets going. And I know, again, this is, I don't know if this applies too much, but I mean, hell, the last time the Braves won the World Series, and only time the Braves have won the World Series in the last how many years, Ronald Acuna was hurt, right? So I guess that's something. But anyways, the 2025 Braves, though, absolutely need Ronald Acuna. They don't have the depth and they don't have the roster that the 2022 Braves had, obviously, when they won the Fall Classic. Anyways, though, Atlanta snapped their big 5-game losing streak yesterday, beating the Athletics 9-2. And what does Ronald Acuna do? Well, he does basically what Lawrence Butler did on Monday, except for an inside-the-park home run. Acuna blasts one over the fence in left field. Still, there's no measurement on the Ronald Acuna Jr. home run. That ball was absolutely killed into deep left. I've been trying to find the distance for it. I was watching the game. Again, I was trying to watch Playboy Cardi try to perform. Anyways, and Ronald Acuna blasts the ball in left field. I go to the Real app to try to see how long the home run was. It didn't register. I think it like broke StatCast, because even on ESPN now, there is no distance for that Ronald Acuna Jr. home run in the first. But he killed that baseball. Acuna wasn't done though. I mean, the fourth inning, he did hit another home run. That one only registered at 378 feet only. But Ronald yesterday with 8 total bases, 2 home runs, right? 2 hits, 2 RBI. Acuna, oddly enough, only has 20 RBI and 11 home runs this season. Again, leadoff hitter, I understand that's the case. But anyways, there's just not guys on when he's hitting, obviously. Yesterday, we hit with our player prop. Obviously, we had Corey Seager, another shootout over in Anaheim between the Rangers and the Angels. A little surprised the Rangers are continuing to step up to the plate with that, just in terms of their offense being really bad as of late. And guys expected a lot of runs again in that game today, too. I'm not betting it, but Jack Kokonowicz and Patrick Corbin are pitching tonight. Ooh. I think Rangers win, by the way, if you want an extra bet. But yeah, expect a lot of runs scored in that. Anyways, Corey Seager hits for us yesterday. We were building off the momentum that Corey Seager had been building over the last month. I'm doing the same exact thing here with Ronald Acuna. Acuna has been consistently one of the best hitters in baseball since his return. I guess in the month of July, he's been kind of just mid so far. But there's a reason Acuna is an All-Star Game starter, and he missed a month and a half, right? He's batting .336. He has 11 home runs. He's got 20 RBI, again, in limited opportunities so far this season. Pitching matchup tonight for him that he will face J.P. Sears. Ooh, J.P. Sears is not that great in the Big 2025. I'm just going to be honest. Sears is coming off 11 2/3 consecutive innings without giving up a run. That's due to end. And, okay, there's a chance that ends on the first pitch, right? We've been good with the player props, right? I mean, hell, just look at the last 2 days. Lawrence Butler, Corey Seager, both get it done very early for us. And I said when we had Lawrence Butler on the over 1.5 total bases the other day, I said I thought he was going to get it done with the first pitch. There's a chance Ronald Acuna is going to get this done on the first pitch against J.P. Sears. There's a very good chance. I know, again, Sears has built a lot of momentum for himself. He's gone 11 2/3 consecutive innings without giving up a single run. 5 2/3 against the New York Yankees, 6 innings against the San Francisco Giants. That's great. I think that ends, though, right now. I firmly believe it. I feel like it ends. I think Acuna is able to blast a baseball right away in this game. And I always say it about Sacramento, too. I love going over total base props and sack. Ball flies. It's a minor league baseball park. Ronald Acuna Jr. over 1.5 total bases, minus 130 at home, on the road in Sacramento against the A's. Going on to our final best bet of the video, let's go to Petco Park in San Diego, California, as we have the San Diego Padres taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know Randy Vasquez is pitching, and that does get scary sometimes. I completely understand. I'm still going with San Diego to win. Eduardo Rodriguez is pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, he had a really good month of June. He did. Pre-injury, Eduardo Rodriguez was one of the worst pitchers in baseball. He comes back in June, pitches really well, has 5 really good starts that he puts together against the Reds, Mariners, Blue Jays, White Sox, and Marlins. Combined ERA in the month of June for Eduardo Rodriguez was 1.98. It was phenomenal. He took 20 steps backwards, though, in his last start on the 4th of July at home in Arizona. Eduardo Rodriguez in 4 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 9 runs, 3 home runs against the Royals. Yeah. The Padres do still leave a lot to be desired for me, but here's the thing, guys. San Diego has alternated wins and losses for the last, week and a half now. It's time for them to win. Yesterday, an 8-2 victory for the Arizona Diamondbacks, again in San Diego. Geraldo Perdomo goes yard with the grand slam. It's weird, because San Diego has their nights where they look unstoppable offensively. And sure, they are far and few in between at this point, I'll just be honest. But I don't know why San Diego's not better. Look at that lineup. I get it. It's the bottom half of the lineup that's really bad. And I think the move to push Jackson Merrill down the lineup and get him to the 5 spot's much needed. I mean, when's the last time Jackson Merrill's gotten a hit? I know he's gotten very unlucky when he's blasting the baseball and it just ends up in the right center field gap and it gets caught. Jackson Merrill has, oh my goodness, he has 3 hits in the entire month. He's 3 for 31 in the month of July. So he's batting, that adds up to 097. Hell, in the month of June, that wasn't a phenomenal month for him either. He batted 230 in the month of June. So I think it's a good adjustment to move Merrill down the lineup. Obviously, not all the way down to a 7 or a 6 spot, because obviously you can't afford that because Xander Bogaerts bats 6 for this team every single day. But going Tatis, Arise, Machado, Sheets, and then putting Merrill in the 5 spot. I don't mind it at all. My problem with the Padres is, and where I get a little bit concerned at times, is just in this matchup in particular, Randy Vasquez is pitching. That's a concern. I'm just going to be honest. Vasquez's ERA this season's 3.79. He does have starts where he gets blown up. However, his last start against the Rangers was pretty good on the 4th of July. My bigger concern, though, is the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Snakes and their ability to hit the baseball and put the ball over the fence, too. I mean, Corbin Carroll's having a phenomenal season. He had a home run yesterday, right? Perdomo, it's the grand slam. Eugenio Suarez goes yard as well. James McCann hit his 2nd home run, if I'm not mistaken, as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks as well. So those are my concerns. And my other main concern is just a daily concern with the Padres at the bottom of the lineup, right? Once you get past the 5, Tatis, Arise, Machado, Sheets, and when Merrill's ice cold like this, my goodness, then it gets into, okay, now once you get past the top 4, okay, Merrill's cold, Bogart sucks, Cronenworth is, Ben Johnson / whoever plays, Johnson, Lockridge, Tyler Wade, whoever it is, Brooks, no, they're all not very good. I don't know. I guess Ben Johnson's the best out of them. I don't know. There's Tyler Wade, maybe. And then the catcher position. Guys, if I was a San Diego Padres fan, I think I'd boycott the games until that team got a catcher. I'm so serious. You have no one else that's better than Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado, and I guess Luis Campusano, who's always up and down, but usually in AAA. You don't have anybody better than those guys. I mean, that is the worst catching duo I've ever watched. And my favorite baseball team has a catching duo, usually of Keibert Ruiz and Riley Adams. That's the worst catcher duo in baseball. I'm so serious it is. And especially, what does Elias Diaz do? I understand he bats a little bit better than Martin Maldonado, but for the most part, he sucks. He's a 200 hitter, and he's not even good defensively like Maldonado is. I mean, the thing about Maldonado throughout his entire career, you knew what you're going to get out of Maldonado, okay? He's like a 200 hitter at best, 210 hitter at best. Sometimes he'll get lucky and put a charge into a baseball and put one over the fence. But at least you're going to get a really good glove behind the dish, right? You're going to get a solid arm enough, but a guy who's going to frame really well and a guy who's going to make your pitcher's life a lot easier. Why is Elias Diaz on this team? I mean, seriously. There is not a single soul you can get. Hey, they can trade for Keibert Ruiz. I'm so serious. Padres, get your catcher of the future right now. He's on contract for 4 more years. Hey, I'm feeling so generous to the Padres. We'll take Elias Diaz. We're going to do y'all a favor. Keibert Ruiz for Elias Diaz. Who says no? Who says no? I'll do it right now. If I'm the new GM of the Nationals, I would do that in a heartbeat. Anyways, the Padres are going to be fine tonight. I think Eduardo Rodriguez is going to pitch like crappy Eduardo Rodriguez at the beginning of the season. That's how I believe. That's what I believe. Because, again, of building off that last start on the 4th of July against the Kansas City Royals, I think we're going to be okay, right? I think we're going to be all right with the Padres today. So give me Randy Vasquez. Give me the San Diego Padres. I believe they're going to win this baseball game. It is plus 105. They're dogs. Interesting. Yeah, give me the Padres to win this baseball game at home against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for July 10th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.